Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BARCastTV. It is December 18th, 2024. We have something much different today featured on the channel. It's going to be a high-level 8v8 with some absolute crushers here. We have two 60-plus OS players. I see X Factor, Sashcore, and Autopilot stack over here, Blowdeer, Pyrotech, so just a bunch of great players. So before we get too far into this, I just want to shout out Mr. Zek here and his new server that he set up. So if you're interested in how such quality team games got put together, well, you have to look no further than the Bar exclusive Discord. So if that's something you would like to be a part of, just shoot Mr. Zek a message on Discord and you might end up in the server to coordinate these quality games. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it here. We're playing on a DSDR. We've got X Factor, Sashkoran, Autopilot, and Raigeki as the front line here for our red team. And spawning on the right side of the map, got Blowdeer, Austin, Praetor, and Greco Brato. I'm not too familiar with Greco over here, but a lot of these players definitely recognize. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these opening factories. I know this is a really old map, and I guess a poverty map, right? I mean, you just have like the 3 maxes for you, and then what is that? Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I don't know, like 22, something like that, maxes to compete, contest with your team. But see Angry Strawberry here going for the air lab open. That's going should be mirrored by Pyrotech, who, if I'm not mistaken, is an air player himself. I was told there's a lot of co-oping going on, and I can see that already. We see Austin doing this like edge building of lab here. Actually, that's good to know. I didn't know you could actually make that and assist that down there. We see Sashcorn is doing a mirrored build over here. Autopilot going for a bot lab himself. This position typically is armed vehicles, right? So we see armed vehicles, right? A lot of scouts coming out here for the teal player. Just going straight across the map. Our man Zek here playing a bit of a battery here. I can see all these sliders here on the right side of the map. A lot of this metal is being funneled into, I guess, some of the the frontline players. Austin himself. You see a air transport here for Sashcorn. I'm wondering what he's going to be doing at that. Maybe escorting that con up to the high ground. Maybe he can start a con turret up there. Just content to assist that. There's so much going on. I'm not really used to casting these big 8v8 team games. So see Blowdeer is kind of slowly expanding, capping these mexes, adding a few wins. Just funneling all this there's a lot going on right now actually. Let me try and zoom out of it. See some Praetor here is getting up a couple of con turrets, being really greedy with the build power actually. Who went Resbot into 3 cons, so oop, 2 grunts over here, sorry about that. Meanwhile, our man Zek is helping out Autopilot here, just assisting the lab, fixing some E issues, getting up a second con turret. And here we go. Air con or heavy transport coming out for the blue team. So I'm wondering what commander is going to be transferred where. See, X Factor is already moving into rocket bot production. Wouldn't be surprised to see him put down an energy storage here shortly enough. He's got a lot of solar collectors made already. Autopilot's commanders move towards the middle of the map. Same for Praetor here, so they're going to be contesting these like 2.0 maxes, right? See Janus making its way to the front line as well. So this is kind of the power of playing armed vehicles in this position. Actually pretty interesting. 1 Janus into 5 Whistlers, so. Oh my goodness, a single rover came in here and got a bunch of value, up to 5 kills already. I think he's going to end up getting all of those wind turbines. You see a little bit of an air scuffle here in the middle of the map, and both commanders kind of flying past each other. Did the blue team get the better end of that? Yeah, so they've got air superiority. They sniped the the heavy transport for Sashcorn, and that means Austin is going to get on top of this lab here. He's going to land right next to it, probably D-gun that thing straight away, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just continues Continues flying that. You thought making a heavy transport would shut this down, where you were mistaken. It's cool to see it take so many shots to get killed. Is that gonna go down? One more shot, 2, 3. Goes down. So a little bit greedy there from our man Austin. We have a follow-up comm transport featuring X Factor making his way to this high ground plateau over here. So, you know, despite losing the lab there, I think that kind of went the red team's way. See in the middle here. Got a bit of a scuffle, classic 8v8 style. Rocket bots versus rocket bots. Commanders in the back line repairing these. Trying to repair these. Regeki doing what he can to kind of lock this area down. These missile trucks have great range, so nice to see. Where are these commanders going to take it from here? See, this actually a one scaling contour in the back line. This is pretty useful. Actually, lab right next to it. Actually missed that, but it was even. Okay, so pretty even resources actually, but I want to see the tempo is going towards the red side. Like, blue is trying to take control of this hill, but there's 2 commanders up here. Sashborn is just desperately repairing the single Centurion that's got a lot of value here. I think you can't step forward into that commander's D-gun range though. Pretty even game so far. See 4 commanders here on the front line for the blue team, so perhaps one of them making play can just kind of dive on one of these armies, make a big trade, of course. So Shuri's out for the red team, ready to pounce if they need to. Actually, the Blodier ended up getting this forward lab finally, so pretty cute to see that. But I want to say there's a bigger force here, rocket bots for X Factor. He's got this nice arc around this position here, so looks like that could end up falling soon. This commander is dangerously low. You don't want to have that commander go down next to all these rocket bots. That'd be a huge blunder. See another commander being transported to the front line, and Blodier is pushed off of this position here, so X Factor did his job. He won his lane here. This is really where you want to get a nice juicy commander trade on that army, but X Factor might be too good to let that happen, of course. Just kite backwards. Somehow the blue team managed to secure this position. I think it was these maces kind of helped shoo this away, but Sashbon's going to cloak and offer the trade here. Does Austin see it? Yeah, he's kiting back. Oh my gosh. His commander's so much faster. He's getting in range, so I don't think this army is going to survive, actually. Yeah, it's going to go down, take those units with him, and really give control of this middle, like, plateau high ground to the red team, right? So X Factor's pushing in. Blodier is desperately trying to get up these beamer turrets, which can kind of hold their own against the rocket bots, but the overshot ends up taking them down over time, right? So just a matter of time before that position falls. You really need to get one of those warden area turrets up. So much happening, trying to keep up the red. Geki's done a great job amassing this huge whistler ball, but same for Greco. Actually has his own arty out in the back line here, chipping away at these units, even getting value on top of these army units, right? So see these 2 commanders repairing each other. That's kind of cute. But the comm wreck is going to go towards the blue team. Okay, so that's a big trade. See, X Factor is choosing not to push into this position. Blodier's done a great job kind of buttoning this up, adding these little T1 walls to prevent units from shooting over them. Pyrotech kind of rotated up here to try and help defend this position, but I really think it's just a matter of time before this factory ends up going down here. So rocket bots on the high ground are going to do what they can to help protect this position, actually. And if this warden goes up, that would be a huge deal. That'd be, I mean, with this commander on the left side, that warden is really going to help shoo away this position. And I think X Factor rightly so is just going to back up. Yeah, the warden gets put up. The pair is on it with the con turrets, and that's going to shoo that army away for now. So meanwhile, in bottom mid, there's so much going on, actually. 3 commanders here. You see some ticks even out for, what player is this? Elo, Teriyaki, Thylo. Just streaming ticks onto the map. A couple of D-guns going off, taking out a Janus. You really got to be careful with these. This point in the game, you're kind of playing with fire. Trying to get value with these D-guns here. Sashcorn's still doing what he can. Trying to get value here. Doesn't have a lab up just yet, and this is something that I find interesting about this shared lab, like co-op style, is you really got to offload your micro to some of these players who don't have like bases to micro, or macro rather. So it can really go a long way, giving that extra, having that extra APM to micro your army, right? But see, X Factor's going for T2 in his own base. Commander go just down here. That is not good. I think Praetor is going to be right in position to either D-gun this or just... Do you go for the trade here? Okay, so that's really, yeah, it's 1.5k metal. Do we see any T2 labs coming up for the blue team? I don't see one, so it means X Factor is going to get away with this for now. He's just going to make, what, cons on repeat? He's going to make 2 cons. I mean, that's really enough. You can, with your air player, you can transport these around, just tap mexes and upgrade them. Really like to see this transport here be shared with X Factor, but you know, there's so much going on. It'd be hard to manage these things at one time. See, another warden's gone up, so really locking down this area. I've never seen that. Yeah, X Factor's just continuing to make these T2 cons, right, for his teammates. Yeah, Austin even calling it out. X Factor probably went T2. He doesn't see any army units here. Did he actually reclaim his resbots? Not resbots, rocket bots. I don't really see any standing army for him. Yeah, we see the red team kind of feeding resources into X Factor to try and get these cons out and distributed to the team. This air player could be a little quicker on this, but you know, no big deal. This is cute. I love to see that contour. It's being repositioned to the front line here. Yeah, and Blodir is going to go T2 himself, so he's really going to need some help from his teammates to try and get some metal into that. And here we go. Sashcorn's going in for a commander bomb, but I don't think he's going to go for it, actually. What is happening here? So in bottom mid, it looks like Greco is kind of overpowered. Raigeki here, I mean, he's already in the back line, really getting to his value. 3 kills between all of them, but that chip damage really adds up in conjunction with those missiles. See these cons finally being transported across the map. And do you end up switching? So he just goes right into these fiends, right? You're going to make short work of these T1 units. Rocket bots don't do well against fiends, of course. See a single gauntlet up here. Not sure if I really like this. I think kind of waiting for that T2 already would have been a bit of a better choice. Just has such better range. Such better. Oh my gosh, AR Baron is here. He's back. But here we go. Okay, so the trade-off here, going for quick tech, well, you can leave yourself vulnerable to a bombing run. Is this going to end up working out, actually? We'll see. Angry Strawberry has quite a few fighters out, but she's not reacting. And yeah, Pyrotech has got the air fig superiority here, so these fighters are going to swing around. Is this T2 lab going to go down? Yeah, it does go down. Okay, it's a big trade there. These units are still not done getting value, right? For the bombing run continues, right? And there's nothing left to contest these units. Pyrotech kind of keeping to his mantra here and just going for these bombing runs, right? So don't think they're quite going to get the T2 mexes, right? But can definitely camp this air player who's desperately trying to get this T2 AA up. That's going to end up going down. So somehow it got turned around pretty quickly. A lot of pressure here in mid from Praetor, right? Just kind of bearing down on autopilot's position here. Desperately trying to get up positions, and I think the red team's going to call it, actually, so that is interesting. Yeah, 2 T2 labs, maybe a little bit too greedy here, and Pyro kind of clenching it for his team there, getting air superiority and getting that bombing run, and that just kind of shows you how tight these high-level matches can be played on. So this is something you like to see more of. Casting big team AVA games. Let me know in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe. I'll be bringing you guys more of these replays in the future. So that's it for me. Take care, cheers, and see y'all in the next one.